LP has the largest stock of drum heads in the world. This is just a small sampling of all the different drum heads we currently stock. Bongo heads, conga heads, bata heads, cuica heads, flat heads, flat skins for those of you that would like to do your own mounting. We're going to learn about that today, how to mount your own skins, how to tune your drums, how to do some general care. If you have an old drum and you want to fix it up, you can do that. We have the parts. We have everything that you need to do it yourself. And today we're going to explain to you just how to do that. What you're looking at is a well-used LP conga drum. It's been played a lot. The head's been tightened a lot. It's time for a new drum head on this drum. How can you tell if you need a new drum head? Well, one telltale sign is you can't tune the drum any higher. As you can see from these lugs, they're tuned up as far as they could go. Another sure sign is the height of this head has increased. From the top of the rim up, it's over 1.25 inches. It's almost 1.5 inches. A new head would be about 5/8 to 3/4 of an inch above the rim. You can see the height of this drum head as opposed to the one that's on here. So what's your choices? Your choices are you can purchase a pre-mounted head, or you can do it yourself and mount your own head. Let's talk a little bit about the components that go into a drum head. Here's a pre-mounted LP drum head. It consists of the skin and a flesh hoop. Okay, the skin wire is actually embedded in the rawhide. Now the way this happens is the skin has to be wet, and we'll usually have to soak these skins. Conga skins are basically a thick skin, depending on the size of the drum. The bigger the drum, the thicker the skin. I'd like to show you a couple different skins and their uses. Skin like this would be for a conga drum or a large side of a bata drum. It's a thick skin. You would have to soak a skin like this probably close to 8 hours in warm water before you'd be able to, it would be flexible enough for you to mount it. Now as you get smaller in drums, such as the smaller congas, the bongo drums, cuica drums, the heads become thinner. Here's a bongo head. Probably in about 2 or 3 hours in warm water, this would be ready to mount. Now the best idea is if you have a small head like this, you might be able to soak it in a bucket of water. If you have a larger head like this, you might actually have to do it in your bathtub. We use a mortar tub. You don't want the skins, very important, you don't want the skins to soak too long because they'll actually deteriorate. They'll take on too much water, they'll deteriorate, and they won't be as strong. Once you remove your old drum head, you'll have to soak it in water. You have to loosen this up. What we want to retrieve is the flesh hoop that's enclosed right here. Soak it in water. When the skin becomes loose enough, you can pull this section away. You might actually have to cut it at that point. Pull it away, get your flesh hoop out. Now I would like to stress the importance, make sure that your flesh hoop is perfectly round. And the way you can do that, I show here a traditional rim. You place the flesh hoop in the traditional rim. It should be even all around. The flesh hoop should be slightly larger than the counter hoop. And the reason for that is we don't want it to shift, we don't want it to pop out. You'll probably encounter a lot less problems with the comfort curve rim because of the way that it actually holds. Let me show you that. On this, the flesh hoop actually sits inside of it. Now we're going to show you how to mount both traditional and comfort curve rims today. My favorite would be the comfort curve because you don't have the rivets. When you're cutting the rim, your hand is going to be going along the rim. And when you come to these V brackets, you kind of have to skip over them. It's not hard, but it seems to be a lot easier with the comfort curve rim in the cutting. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a couple skins out of the water. We're going to take a conga drum. We're going to show you how to mount your own conga head. Here we have our skins in warm water. I'm going to take one out. We're going to mount an 11 3/4 inch conga. Every conga skin has a smooth side and a rough side. All the LP heads that you would get would be silk screened on the smooth side. But in case you have a skin that doesn't have a silk screen on it, you can tell by running your hand from one side to the other. You'll feel one is a rough texture, one's smooth. The smooth side is the side we want to be playing with. We want our hands to hit. We got smooth side up, and what we'll do now is we'll take our flesh hoop and we'll center it. We have our flesh hoop centered on the skin. And now here's what you might feel would be a tricky part. You'll put the rim on top. The flesh hoop's inside of the rim. Now what we're doing is we're pulling the head over the flesh hoop, but inside of the rim. Now you could kind of keep your elbow. I usually keep my elbow on the back, and I kind of work it around like this. And don't get upset if it kind of pops out on you. You'll get used to it. Going around the whole skin. And what we have here is pretty much a sandwich. Now I'm going to pick up the skin like that. That's what it should look like from both sides. Okay, what we're going to do now, we're going to center this on the drum, put it on the drum. We want to make sure that we have the brackets right underneath the side plates. You want to center it that way. You're going to have a little bit of slack in the head. You're going to have to carefully let up on the head because you want to press it down enough to attach the lugs. Before we attach the lugs, I'd like to go over a couple things. Whether you're rejuvenating an old drum or mounting a new drum, every drum comes with lug lube. Use it. Definitely use it. It's going to extend the life of these threads. There's an awful lot of tension that's going to be pulled down on this head. You're going to be banging on it. You're going to be tensioning it. You're going to be detuning it when you're done. You want these threads to stay nice. You should also inspect all your threads if you're using an older drum. You want this nut to run freely up and down. It should run all the way up the threads, all the way back down. That's how you'll be able to tune it easy. It'll tune evenly. So before we mount the head, we want everything backed out, all the super nuts backed out as far as they can. The reason for that is we need as much room as possible because we're trying to press down on this head. Once you get one clipped, and once again be very careful, you want to be very careful that all your hard work on the table there doesn't slip right out. So keep a hand on the opposite side. Then we'll turn the drum around. Pressing down. Here's where it's nice to have a friend helping you with this. Okay, we got the two hardest ones done. And we go around the whole drum and do the same thing. As you do this, you'll see we have some wrinkles, which are actually folds of skin